right, welcome back into another episode of Indiebnb. Today we are joined by the band Meltt out of the west coast of Canada, west side. Boys, how we doing this day?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, of course, we were joined by Jamie, Chris, Ian, and James. All of them from the left to right. And so we'll meet each of them during this interview here. But guys, obviously excited about you guys have been touring for a new record, so you just got back off the tour, so we feeling rejuvenated after a couple weeks out, or what's the after tour life been for you?
Just getting over the post tour hangover, I'd say. Now I think we're just off the road a week, so just had a week of R&R, and kind of settling into a different schedule. It's definitely a mental shift, I would say. So takes a little while to kind of get back into it, but
eating home cooked meals is a big one.
Oh,
yeah, that's good. Debriefing.
When y'all were on the road, were y'all eating a lot of out? Like, what was your go-to on the road food?
It depends where you are, really.
A lot of Mexican food, which is great. Barbecue sometimes, great.
So Mexican anywhere. You can find good Mexican. Diner food, and it really depends where you are, but that's kind of staples, I'd say.
I like it.
Not a lot of vegetables.
Not a lot of vegetables. You kind of there's certain parts of the tour where you got to stop at a grocery store and just grab some apples or some oranges or something, because you like fighting off scurvy at that point, I think.
We like it.
Yeah, Ian was crushing some bell peppers at like 2 a.m. after shows. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I like it. Just getting in those bell peppers. So who was so you guys played in Atlanta. I got the pleasure of seeing you guys. I knew a few of the openers, and I got to know you guys obviously at the show. But the Earl, it's a historic venue around here. People love it. It's been around for a really long time. Like, playing there, what was it like? What did you guys think about the space?
It was a good show, I didn't actually know there was a big history behind it or anything, but we liked the show a lot. It was a fun venue, and
the room was cool. Yeah, it was a good lighting in there, I thought, so it had a good kind of vibe, and it was a nice big room for that size venue. It was a nice wide big room, and it was a great green room, which we always liked, and there's some good food too. We got fed, so can't complain.
Yeah, that's true.
The Earl's always got some good stuff cooking there. So you guys, speaking of your live setup, you guys had a projector. We had some, everyone's got their own little station, it seems for you guys. So what's the, obviously, if you've listened to Meltt, there's a really unique sonic sound. So, whenever you're recreating that live, is that important to have everybody have their own little synth station to, play around?
I mean, it's just sort of, since the records are recorded, not as a live off the floor project, it's sort of a studio album project. We just have to figure out creative ways of spreading out the layers and sounds so that any one of us could be doing a certain moment at any given time in the song. So we just kind of have some MIDI keyboards laid out across the stage, so when we go through the progression of each song, someone might have to jump in and get some samples figuring or keyboard sounds going, or it's just sort of a way of having us all be able to take a piece of the pie at any given point. So that's pretty much what it is. It's just sort of figuring out a new way of playing the songs live for the first time, actually, when we're doing them live.
How many dates did it take to really where everyone kind of figured out, all right, this is my part now, I'm going to be on this one? Was there a lot of rehearsal prior to the tour that really kind of worked that out, or?
Yeah, pretty dialed in beforehand.
Yeah, we don't want to be on stage, and we have enough technical stuff to worry about on stage that I think we have all our at least parts kind of figured out.
But no, there's a lot of prep time for this kind of show. Yeah, definitely. Most of the effort was just building the live session out in Ableton, and then figuring out what we want to play, and then doing that infrastructure wise, and then practicing.
And sometimes when we do set aside the rehearsal time, it'll be some small adjustments where it's okay, it doesn't make sense for me to. Yeah, maybe this song I'm playing guitar a lot, so maybe Ian's got to get on that synth part, or maybe James has to go from synth to guitar there. So what makes sense? And then you'll be adjusting. You kind of have an idea, and it's always different from who plays what on the record too, which is interesting. So you switch it up, and then once you're in the room, kind of working through it. We got to kind of go with what makes the most sense too, because sometimes Chris or James Green will be juggling like 3 or 4 things in one song. It's like, okay, this just doesn't make sense. Like, Chris got to focus on singing at that part, or maybe we put a synth on a pad for something. It makes more sense there, or whatever. Yeah.
Did y'all find yourselves, sort of like a lot of jam bands, they play the song, but it's a little different every time they play it. Did y'all find that from maybe night to night that every song was a little bit different?
We usually within the songs we have like moments where we kind of like extend it from the record, and then we can kind of do things different. We have like little kind of like like for the next however many bars, we can like kind of go off and improvise a little more.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like fairly consistent. I mean, it changes night to night like all the time, obviously, but like we have like our moments where we kind of know that we can fuck around with it.
Yeah, that was kind of worked on prior to the tour. Like we'd kind of start by just when we're practicing getting as close to the recordings as we could, and then once we kind of nailed that down and like started working out more, we thought, oh, maybe we can extend this part here, and then it kind of worked itself out that way.
Yeah.
So there's definitely the songs are definitely different than from the record.
Yeah.
For the most part, but in terms of those like extensions here or there, maybe like we try something a little different with one of the parts here or there.
We're
we're not full on like jam.
We would need like people on stage to be able to be like truly free flow.
Yeah,
I think
we try to make it like a new experience from what you experienced when you listen to the record. Like obviously it sounds a bit different, but we want to give ourselves some freedom to give the people who come to the live shows a different experience, something they're not expecting. You listen to a part and then they get hit with the extension on Soak My Head that you don't see coming, or another thing on Deep Water or whatever, and then you can kind of, we know when, like James says, we give ourselves those moments that we know we're going to do it, but then when we do play it, maybe like there'll be a different experimental guitar part that we try on this part, or a different drum fill, or something that's changed up a little bit.
Yeah. Were like every show, did y'all have like the same like set allotment of time to play, or did that change? Did y'all have like 50 minutes one night and then maybe an hour the next?
Yeah, it varied a little bit.
Yeah,
so we had to kind of be.
Yeah,
we wanted to always do an hour 20, but basically it was up to the venue. If they couldn't do that, then we would have to cut it down. But we were always like, we want to do this.
Our full set is like an hour 50, an hour 20, pretty much. That's somewhere in between there. Mm-hmm. So when we had like no limit, that's what we play, which was ideal. We play a full set, give everyone like a full realized show. Yeah. And then I would say there was maybe 3 or 4 hour sets, maybe less, maybe only 2 or 3 hour sets, and then a couple where it's like an hour 15, you have to cut 1 or 2 songs. So most of the time I'd say
we varied the set sometimes. Like if sometimes like we'd be talking to a fan before the show, maybe like I'm obsessed with this song, like I need you guys to play it, and we maybe hadn't planned on it before, and we'd throw it in. Yeah,
sometimes we'd throw a song in, and we had maybe 2 or 3 we would mess around with. We'd throw one in for the show, take one out for that show, take one out for that show, throw that one in, and then maybe 2 or 3 shows we just played all of them. So we it was nice to finally have a tour where we had enough of a library to be able to actually change our set night to night and keep it like a full hour 20. It's annoying when you have that and then you have to cut down to an hour. That's when it gets to be like, oh, now we're making cuts that we really don't want to make. But it's nice to have the freedom to kind of mix it up,
Yeah.
For you guys, like, obviously it's a grind. How many cities and states was it? How many cities was it for this, particular tour that you guys just got off of?
18 on this one round.
1 in Mexico,
2 in Canada, and then the rest of the states.
15 in the States.
Wow. Okay. Well, for you guys, I mean, like, what was, I always like to ask some tour stories, but what was something that jumps out at you as immediate tour memory? Like, if we go back, like, if we look back on this tour in 5 years, like, we're gonna remember that moment. Like, what was? Did you guys have one of those?
I think we can all agree on Mexico City being one of those places and like experiences that's like that. It was like,
on stage in Mexico, hearing the feedback of the crowd, like to songs was.
It was like another, totally different extreme fan down there. Like, not a lot of it too.
Yeah, you could hear
a different culture than in North America, than in America and Canada. So it was just like, it was pretty exciting and quite wild show.
Yeah, we definitely had experienced anything like that before.
No,
like we got fans in the States and in Canada, but like
They were like
they
fanatic,
fanatic,
and you can hear like the screen piercing through your in ears in the middle of a song was something new that I was like, holy,
yeah.
It's different.
Love that. What was, you know, again, did y'all play a specific venue there that was like this is sick, or like how big was the space in comparison?
pretty big.
Yeah,
40 Indie Rocks, it's
I
called.
think it's like this with the balcony. I think it's like 650, 700 cap, with the full balcony and everything. And it's like seems like the place to play for bands our size, indie bands, you know, particularly, and some pretty big bands play there too when they opened up all the balconies and stuff. So it was a cool venue. It was definitely really cool, and they treated us really well, which was always nice.
Yeah, they picked us up in the airport, put us up in the hotel and all that, which is big, like never happens in the States.
Wow, that's awesome.
Treatment.
Yeah, fulfilled our rider, meal voucher.
Yeah. Had a good dinner. Yeah, it was great.
Took us up to tacos at like 2 a.m. afterwards with the car. Like, yeah,
it was fun.
It was good.
That's awesome. Well, you know, we want to get into a song spotlight and kind of understand a little bit about your writing process, what that looks like, and how, you know, how does something come together? You know, we picked "Do You Ever Wonder?" It's one of the, you know, ones off y'all's newest album, and so wanted to understand, you know, each part to that song. You know, how did it become from nothing to something? You know, and where did it start from?
So I can talk about the start for that one, I guess, because this was like a pretty old. The original, like, basically I just had a demo of the verse, like before the like drop off, where it's like the main melody of the verse, like that main like pulsing synth and bass line and the like vocal that goes through that sidechain LFO. Yeah, that is like a pretty old little demo, I guess, from like, I don't know how long ago. It must be like 2018 or 2019 or something, like during making Swim Slowly, I'm assuming, or during mixing Swim Slowly, I think. I'd honestly have to check. But yeah, I had that. I kind of liked it. I thought it was fun and felt good. And I think soon before we were going to go to the cabin, started like developing stuff like that. And had the idea of like changing the synth sound and just making the verse just like almost an underwatery feeling version of the main original idea. So then we just kind of had that as like a verse idea, and then like switching between that and the main like lead line thing. So that was that, musically speaking, at the beginning. And
that was one that we worked on quite a bit in the cabin.
So yeah, so then we rented out this cabin for about a month in 2020 September, and that was kind of the month we kind of got all of our demo ideas and shared them with each other, and like took notes and kind of had interest in what we wanted to consider like developing more and stuff. So that was one of those ones that I played out, and I think they'd already heard it before, but we heard it again, and we all liked the general vibe and stuff of that song. So it didn't have any like change though. So we basically, that was one of those songs where we went from demo stage to playing in the room for real together, and then actually improvising change ideas on the fly together.
I think we came up with the vocal melodies for the killer part of the verse as well.
That too, yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was no actual vocal melody for the actual verse melody.
You remember that
Until
one we played through just now?
It was just
together.
Only the chord progression, original like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one was actually cool. That was kind of a unique one in that way for this album. It really was fully half pre and then really finalized and finished together as a band in the cabin. So yeah.
I remember all three, like us, me, Jane, and Chris here, like, because the way we do it is like we usually work out like the vocal melodies like almost to a syllable before we actually write any words to it. So I remember the three of us, sometimes what we were doing for a few of those songs, like when we were just kind of stuck on melodies, just like the three of us sat in front of a computer with a mic and just like we're improvising like gibberish vocal ideas all together until like, oh wait, what do you do? Like hit record, and then like until we kind of pieced together what eventually became like the, I don't know, not the chorus, but the B section of the song.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah, I remember that. Sure.
We did that for a few songs.
And that's always starts with mostly gibberish vocal sounds. Just like purely just getting some kind of melody to flow out, and
Scrambled eggs, right?
typically then go from there more, basically. Yeah, that's how I usually work, and I think that's how most of us work. Sometimes there'll be a line that pops through too, and then it's like, oh wow, almost base it from that a bit. It varies. Every song would have a different tale, though. This is just this song, so they all have a different.
That one was one I definitely remember like jamming on a bit.
Yes.
I remember the guys going for a dip one time, and I guess I just didn't feel it at the time. And I remember messing around with like some phaser on like cymbals, like in that chorus part. I was like, oh, this would sound sick, like just washing with that big synth, and the breakdown just like, especially the end part where it gets like kind of with the two melodies going and gets super intense. It kind of jumps up, and I was like, oh, it'd be really sick to put some phase on the ride and just messing with like some Valhalla myself, knowing like being a drummer on Valhalla. You know, it was fun. It was fun messing around with it and building that course, building on what Chris had brought there.
Yeah, it was fun too at the time. Having like Ian had this like hardware bass synth, which was new to us, so throwing that on there was cool. It definitely was like a fun raw feeling playing that one live and figuring all that stuff out. Yeah.
So there's a lot. It sounds like there's a lot on the, a lot on the layering to get, get that one, pushed in there. What with like, you guys are going to this cabin, in 2020, like everyone bringing ideas there. It sounds like, how important is it to have that kind of focus time? And, was it just you four in the cabin? Were there other people there, or was it just you four just grinding?
Yeah, I think it was a good way to, because we'd been separately writing stuff for so long because of COVID itself, and then got together super intensely because of COVID itself too. It was a good way to, like, I guess obviously just assess what we actually had, because that was the only time to really. I feel like it's not as enjoyable to do that kind of stuff remotely, like listening to people's demos.
We needed to.
It needed to be done in person at that point.
It was so much built up. I think like demos that we had worked on isolated from each other, that to make it like a Meltt project, to actually synthesize everything and to whittle it down to what we're gonna do for a Meltt like release. We had to lock ourselves in something for like the amount of productivity we had that month of synthesizing music and writing and expanding was so crazy compared to before and after. I mean, there was a lot of productivity in bringing demos, and the guys working on a lot of really cool demos and bringing them in, and we wouldn't have had the ability to do that in the cabin without that. But just the amount of like us four together, just working like 8 hours a day, 9-10 hours a day sometimes, on just realizing all these little bits. Sometimes it was a part, like sometimes, like, you ever wondered, it was like, an initial part and a little bit of a verse idea to like create the chorus, create some drums to like, well, maybe it's just a verse, or maybe it was James brought in the things with me as well. It was more realized, we just had to like just give it a small treatment to kind of get it where it needs to be and make some small decisions on it. I think it needed to, like, we needed something that COVID like separated us and made us have all these things that we needed to really synthesize together. So we kind of, and we also, like, safety wise, like we didn't want to bring, it was in the peak of COVID in a sense, so we didn't want to bring any risk to our families. So we couldn't just meet up here at the basement studio. We had to go back to our houses, and we had to, if we're going to isolate, we had to isolate together.
And then we'd obviously safe to go back home after that. So we don't have it. So
Yeah.
We're literally isolated.
Yeah, very isolated.
But yeah, that whole month basically was the whole like full foundation of the album's creation. Really, it kind of informed most everything that ended up being on it in the end. Yeah. Other than like lyrics, lyrics we did after, but musically speaking, was all done then.
Yeah, every song.
Yeah. I think
so. I don't think there's anything. But
it obviously developed and improved more, but overall, like those demos from that point were pretty much the sketches that were there.
Yeah. Do you think a return to the forest is going to be in the cards for you guys coming up here after you've kind of
say no? I would say no.
Definitely possible for sure. We have the ability now that we don't have to go to be productive. Like we can come here now in the new year and spend 8 hours in the studio here. But inspiration wise, I definitely a little retreat somewhere. We wouldn't say no for sure.
It's definitely possible. Yeah.
It is a huge pain to move the whole studio though.
That's
the only problem. That's a good.
It would definitely be
for like
productive,
2 days.
It was like 9 hours of cable running. If I sent you the video, like I tracked the cables, like, and it took a full 9 hours getting there and setting up and running cables. It was just absurd. But we were set up for months, so it
was worth it because we were there for so long.
This was pretty nuts.
You wouldn't do that for a weekend.
No.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I can't even figure out how to put my computer monitor together, let alone run a whole entire studio into an Airbnb or some other place.
It's crazy, man. Like,
you really is Indiebnb.
Yeah. Literally just like wake up, open the door, you're immediately in the studio, like play music for like 12 hours, make some dinner, come back at it, repeat.
I love it. Well, within that, like, what's new? What's going to be on the upcoming? What's on the horizon for you guys as you close out 23 into 24 here? Obviously coming off the long tour, and we're taking some rest and relaxation for right now. But what's in the cards moving forward here for Meltt?
Getting back to writing.
Yeah, writing and probably doing more shows stuff next year. Really, yeah. No specific plans for shows, but I think that's definitely on the table. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But in the meantime, we'll just be starting to demo whatever the next batch of stuff will be, whatever that is.
Yeah, we'll probably take this year to a couple holidays planned, and then Christmas, and then in January we'll be getting back to some full-time writing and figuring out what the next project is, and then we'll be assessing show stuff and the second half of the year from then.
Got it. Very good. Very good. Well, again, the live set's amazing. Anybody who when they release some new dates, you got to go see them. They're something else. I've never heard anything like it, sonically. And again, for how the space was at the Earl, I was telling Tash, I was like, it just sounded way bigger than it would have been. It just sounded bigger than where we were. And lo and behold, we're in that back room. And so it was awesome. But we'll round out into some Pete Peterson's party pack of questions here. It's going to be 25 right in a row. So easiest way to do this, we'll go Jamie, Chris, Ian, James. So that'll be the order. So everyone's going to answer the question. So it'll be like cake or pie. Someone will say pie, cake, whatever.
Sure. Sounds good. Yeah.
We'll flip down to the next one. So, all right. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions, 20 questions right in a row. Here we go. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Pie.
Cake.
Ooh,
all right. Salad or soup?
Soup.
Salad.
Soup.
Salad. Ooh.
All right. Sunrise or sunset? What are you guys seeing more of these days?
Sunset. I see more sunsets. I don't know what's more beautiful though. The sunrises that I've seen are pretty absurd. I would say see more sunset. That makes it easier.
Sunset.
All right. Would you guys rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Oh, I'd probably say touchdown.
Touchdown.
Say touchdown because of the dance aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with touchdown. Although home run would be sad to get through the look.
Yeah,
the
back
and you already know you got it once you hit it.
It's not an easy
like,
one.
I just get soaked in.
Yeah,
but I feel like the rush of the touchdown.
Yeah,
I like it. We got a little celebrate. The celebration element played a factor there. Okay.
Big fact.
Night in or night out? What are you guys having more of?
Having more of? Oh,
night in, more of.
More of in, night in.
More of night in.
Yeah. More of. I enjoy both.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. When you guys do go out though, and you go to a disco or any of the clubs around your area, and your favorite song comes on, are you more likely to break out the Robot or the Worm?
Probably a Robot, because I feel like I could rip my shoulder out of its socket if I tried the Worm.
I can't.
Yeah, too old for that now.
I can't do either, but I would be better than Robots.
Considering Robots, my dancing would be more robotic.
Worm is much more interesting.
Go Robot. Worm is another level of commitment, but not all the time.
Depends on how many shots I'm in. Maybe you can convince me, but.
I like it. There's it seems like everyone's a robot, but if we give you that 15th shot, maybe you are a
robot. No, Worm's more interesting, so I would like to do the one.
I like it. When you guys were at your Mexican spots throughout the whole tour, was the go-to appetizer guac or queso?
Guac. It was guac.
Yeah.
You were guacing all the way. I like it. All right. Waffles or pancakes when you guys were getting up in the morning wanting to get some breakfast?
That's a really tough one. So I could go either way. This is like a 50-50. I'm just gonna say pancakes, because for me, I honestly have to pick one of them, and it's just gonna.
On tour, I'd say waffles, because those waffle machines in those places are actually not terrible, but I'd say I generally prefer.
I'm a pancake man too.
Yeah, I prefer pancakes.
Preferred pancakes. Okay. Coffee or tea when you got up in the morning?
I like a tea first, then a coffee later.
Coffee.
Coffee. All right. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
All dogs. All right. We need more dogs. What are we talking about here? Ninja or a pirate? What do you like more?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That's a tough.
It's like what would we be, or what do we enjoy?
What do you identify as? A ninja or a
like
pirate?
pirate. I would say pirate. So
I'll go ninja, but it's tough.
Again, scallywag, so I guess pirate.
Yeah, go pirate. Pirates got more personality.
It's
This
more
whole
fun.
thing is being like,
and they get drunk and stuff. So.
Yeah. There you go.
And they're on the boat.
Yeah, on the boat. Yeah, I love being on the water.
On a boat.
What kind of lifestyle?
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Gatorade or Powerade? Whenever you guys were hungover or needed a refuel for the next show, what were you drinking?
I'll just go with Gatorade.
Powerade. I prefer Powerade. Yeah, I already know.
I just say Gatorade, I guess.
Costco sport drink guy.
Oh, Costco. Oh.
Either. We haven't got a brand endorsement from either one. So.
Hey, I know. We don't either.
Yeah, well,
If I could get a deal, I'd be going.
I agree with that. Yeah, whoever's willing to, cough it up.
Yeah. Toast or bagels?
Ooh, if it's a good poppy seed bagel or like an all seeds bagel, like I don't know, I'd probably go bagel, but good toast is good too. I go bagel.
If I had to pick bagel,
Thrown on the
Yeah.
line.
Bagel.
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 I never ever think that way. It's weird.
All right. Chips or pretzels?
If it's the right kind of chip, I have to say chips. But I love pretzels. Like if it's a bad chip, I'll choose pretzels. But
What's a bad chip?
well, like if it's like a regular like just salt and pepper chip, I'll probably go pretzels.
Really?
If it's like a jalapeno lime like this chip.
Now, if we're talking like a fluffy pretzel, Like
oh yeah,
true.
Then it's pretzels.
Chip.
Yeah, I'll go chips to make it easy.
It's
I like it.
It's important stuff. We gotta get down to brass tacks.
Fries or tots? What do you prefer in there?
Fries, tots. I'm always kidding.
Depends. I think overall fries.
Overall fries. I like it.
I love tots.
Tots are awesome.
I go tots.
I don't get
A good tot is hard to beat for sure, but I think it's fries more consistently.
Yeah. After a long night, are you more likely to watch a television show or a movie to kind of relax?
Television show.
Yeah, I would say just for a long night, the commitment. Yeah,
television. I gotta get invested on it.
Yeah, it's too long.
TV. I like it. Movies too long.
You gotta remember
All right. Are aliens real? Yes or no?
Statistically, I'd say they gotta be.
Yeah, I'd say theoretically yes. Physically, proof-wise, I can't say I know that. So.
Commit, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like I don't know if we'll ever be, but
There must be something
they're
out
out
there.
there.
You gotta okay, so
Yeah.
I feel like y'all are putting out some sonic sounds to these guys, though.
We'll get it.
Like,
You guys are calling the aliens.
y'all are bringing them in.
Yeah, whoever's got those radio waves, whoever's in charge of sending those out, let's get some melt on the radio waves.
That's the radio we should be focusing.
Yeah, exactly. That might be the key.
We need a direct line to Tom DeLong.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I will work on that.
Fully.
Love it.
Really? I didn't know
This guy's off.
He's right.
Is Bigfoot real?
No,
No.
I would say no.
I'm gonna say maybe in the past. Maybe all the Bigfoots died out.
That Denver footage was pretty
yeah.
convincing though. I think it was some dude in a suit.
They pop
I-
up
I never saw that it was some guy in a suit. Was it some guy in a suit?
I don't know, but it looks like it could be, but I don't know. It's either Bigfoot's real and that's it, or it's some guy in a suit.
everything we've
The
seen.
footage looked good.
It's supposed to be Bigfoot. Is not Bigfoot, but I think there might have been a Bigfoot at one.
Did you see the video from the train?
That's what they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Like a train one, yeah, that's what I'm talking
That one's.
I read somewhere that apparently there's like in the Indian military, there's like a shocking amount of Yeti reports.
I would go with that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? I like it.
about.
Is love at first sight real?
No, but
No.
lust at first sight is.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
All right. All right.
you wouldn't get the full love. You get a little maybe of like, oh, it's
Yeah, that's
connection, a little spark.
Spark. Okay. All right. So not full blown fire love, but you can see a spark at some point.
I can see interest at first sight.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
That's kind of what I mean.
That doesn't mean necessarily lust. It means
True. That's
potentially
true.
interest.
That's true. But
Yeah. So no.
All right. And each of you guys need to give me one. Okay. Who is one band that we ought to check out that we do not know about that may be local to Canada, local to Vancouver, or the west coast of Canada? One band that we ought to check out that we might not know.
in that, with those criteria, I would say a really sick local band that I'm sure you haven't heard of is Leighton Kramer. Yeah.
What was the name?
Leighton Kramer. So like Kramer like Seinfeld, and Leighton like Layten. Yeah, they're really cool. They're really good. Great production, great writing. Lots of great songs. Like, yeah, good compositions, great instrumentation, good lyrics and vocals. Yeah, I can't really say anything like negative. I love it. It's great.
Leighton Kramer.
I don't know if this would be small enough for you to not know, but I just saw them last night. This band Old Man Canyon. We're checking them out. They just put out a new EP. It's cool. It's a good show.
All right, Old Man Canyon. We like it.
And these guys, you might hear them because it's pretty big. So I'll throw it out anyway, just in case you haven't. Loving.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say it.
Lovin'.
Loving. Yeah, they're just like very I guess like folky,
Psychedelic folk?
Psychedelic folk. It's lovely.
That's so
Absolutely lovely.
I'm gonna go. I feel like I should go with the local band. So I'm gonna say Vox Rea.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're good.
Vox Rea.
Vox Rea, yeah. Voxrea. Yeah, they're great. Definitely worth checking out.
All right. Well, we got Leighton Kramer, Old Man Canyon, Lovin', and Vox Rea. The boys from Meltt have destroyed Pete Peterson's party pack of questions, just like they destroyed a party pack of tacos on that road. I mean, come on, baby, let's go. Well, we appreciate you guys stopping in and taking a second with us at Indiebnb. Check out Meltt. It is Meltt with two T's on Spotify and all places where music is found. They will be coming out with some new jams soon. They're taking some time, and we're going to get more and more Meltt coming at you. If you have not seen them live, if they're coming to a city near you, check them out. MELTT Meltt. Boys, thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks so much.
You got it.